Hello, everyone. Welcome to this month's Culture Chat. My name is Logan Sloan. I'm a senior here at Winners Mill, and I am representing our Culture Chats this year. If you could please introduce yourselves, that would be amazing.
Hi, I'm Mrs. Hurd, and I coach. I used to coach volleyball here at Winners Mill.
I'm Jess Dick. I coach track and field, indoor and outdoor.
I'm Coach Lowe. I coach girls wrestling here at Winners Mill now.
And I'm Matt Miller. I coach football here.
So as you can see, we have some really amazing coaches here at Winners Mill High School. And this month, I would like to celebrate National Coaches Day. So to start us off, if you could play any sport in the Olympics, what sport would it be?
I would either play beach volleyball or I would snowboard.
I would either snowboard or pole vault.
I'm already in an Olympic sport, so wrestling. But I don't look as good in a singlet as I used to.
I'd say curling. I think
Curling?
I could compete in that right now.
Maybe. I don't know if you're athletic enough for that.
Those are some great options, guys. All right, for my next question, what made you want to become a coach?
I guess for me, I just really loved volleyball, and I wanted to kind of share my passion with other people, and it was just something fun that I thought would be enjoyable.
It's the same for me. I ran track in high school and college, and when I graduated college, I couldn't imagine just being done with the sport. So I felt that I had a lot of knowledge, so I should offer it to somebody, and I started coaching after that.
I had two coaches that were really good mentors and really good guys, but they were kind of negative. Like they never really made me believe that I could do it. And I think that kind of slowed me down a little bit. And I wanted to become the coach that did that. They could actually convince someone that, hey, yeah, you can do this if you put a little extra work into it. So it was a kind of to riff off of them and maybe take what they did up a notch.
For me, it was I was very fortunate. And all the coaches I had all the way through rec league high school were always great mentors. I really took to the sports, and they really had a big impact on my life. And I knew it was coming out of high school, I wanted to stay involved with particularly football, just to emulate what they did for me. And plus I like the competition piece. I don't say you get to be a junkie for it. You get out there and you compete and get after it. It's a thrill.
Alrighty, those are some wonderful answers, though. I'm so glad that you guys became coaches in the first place. We love you here at Winners Mill. For my next question, what is your personal coaching philosophy?
Well, I guess I'll start. Ultimately to win is my coaching philosophy, but I want to work on building character, integrity, kind of showing the students how you're supposed to live life, as well as being hard, working hard, and trying to win.
Yeah, that's kind of the same for me. I want everyone to feel that they can be a valuable member of our team, whether they are winning or whether they are helping us manage or whatnot. Track is such an interesting sport, and the fact that it's both individual and a team sport. So just the fact that we have to collaborate, we have to work together, we have to do our best and whatnot, to kind of teach those life lessons as well.
I'll agree with what Coach Jess said. We have wrestling is both individual and team as well. And I want to make sure everybody feels like they have a part to play, and everybody's an individual. So like some people come to the table with more athletic gifts or more muscle, or some people have more grit. And the idea as a coach is to try to steer everyone towards what they need and developing that area that they need, so that hopefully you can hit that sweet spot for everybody and start getting the wins.
For me, it's really comes down to, can you handle and overcome adversity? You get put up against it a lot. Things get hard. Are you going to quit? Do you expect instant gratification? Are you willing to grind it out? For me, it's just never giving up, no matter what. Sometimes that's going to happen in life. Like, it's not going to go, no matter how hard you work at something, it's not going to go your way. And how are you going to respond? And, are you going to tuck tail, or are you going to rise to the occasion and, press on?
Absolutely. I can understand that. As an athlete myself, my coaches worked on those character traits with me as well. For my next question, Have you encountered any challenges as a coach? And if so, what?
Mr. Lowe, why don't you start this one?
Yeah, working with Matt Miller was my biggest challenge. When he finally stepped away and did only football, life just got so much easier. A lot of the challenges that we have in wrestling have to do with personal discipline and the rest of the world not knowing what we do. So like I ask people what they weigh all the time. That was weird enough when I would ask guys that, but now, people that don't know that there's even girls wrestling out there, I'll say, are you overweight today? And I get these horrible looks from teachers on the hallway thinking I'm prying into somebody. But trying to get, we're not as mainstream as like football. I mean, you go to a football game, there's 1,000 people there, and basketball's packed, and just letting people know that we exist, what we do, kind of getting our culture out there. It's kind of an educational thing. And then on the flip side of that, because of that, there aren't as many role models. So, I have to help my students find people to live up to or to take advice from, or, what happens when you don't make weight on a certain match day, or what happens when you're beating somebody 14-0 and they headlock you and pin you. And like, you can't go on to too many websites and find people giving their opinions. It's not on ESPN as much. So getting a culture out there for my particular sport, that's one of my challenges. And Matt Miller.
Well, all I know is when I was assistant wrestling coach, we won 5 state titles. I stepped down, no more state titles. So I don't know. Like, I guess his biggest challenge is how did he compensate for not having me anymore, but he didn't want to go into detail with that.
It's too short a show.
For me, a big challenge is Coach Lowe actually made a good point for once. Football is pretty popular, and we're just inundated with it. You hear these experts on TV, they share their thoughts, they break down every piece of film. And a lot of times you get people like maybe they played once upon a time, or they watch some kind of sports talk show on a Sunday morning, and then all of a sudden they want to come and say, hey, maybe we should do this, or this is what you guys should be doing. When in actuality, it's like, look, regardless, like it's not that simple. Just because everyone seems to quote unquote know football, we're tasked with putting a team together and getting them moving in the right direction. Oh, and by the way, we have to deal with their behaviors in school. We have to check their grades, and we have to try and balance out what they're doing with their home lives. And, this kid gets sick, or this kid got hurt, or this kid wants to go away for one more beach weekend. Oh, but by the way, our kids kind of look like the kids on the other team, so why aren't we winning? That can be tough. It can be really tough. You're juggling a lot of balls in the air with a sport that people are very familiar with, and you just got to drown out a lot of the noise. It's because I got a good piece of advice one time. You start listening to the people in the stands, it won't be long till you're sitting up there with them.
I think for me, for track and field kids are some of the most passionate, grittiest kids that you'll meet. I mean, there's a reason that they say our sport is your sport's punishment. The kids like to run. However, that brings a set of challenges because these kids are working hard every single day, and we have a lot of issues with injury just because of the nature of the beast, especially during indoor when we have to run inside on some floors that aren't very great. And so we have kids that are capable of really, really great things. And then we get to the track meets and sometimes they don't come through with that greatness. And so kind of, keeping that encouragement going when the students feel like, oh, well, I'm injured, I'm tired, I keep running badly at meets, but I'm practicing so well, what's going on? It's really mental. And so getting those kids motivated and to keep trying their best, to keep coming out to the track every day and working hard, even when they're not really seeing that reward, instantly at the end.
My challenges for volleyball, I mean, every season was something different. I feel like they were different sets of challenges depending on the group of athletes that I was working with. I can't really pick any one specific moment, but every year you just kind of have to roll with it and figure out what works best for that group and that group of personalities. So it changes every year.
Absolutely. And you guys have overcome those challenges, and I'm so glad that you have. For my final question, What advice would you give to someone who wants to pursue a career in coaching?
Avoid John Lowe. The end.
Fire Matt Miller.
Yeah, they tried.
They did. So I tell you, I think if you're going to get into coaching, you have to realize what the challenges are with working with individuals. So I would start early and young and easy. Go with a rec program, see what they're doing, and don't stay with just one. Bounce around and see what people's different styles are, because you've got to find your own coaching style. Some people like to bellow. I know some coaches are like really quiet and don't say much. Some really want to involve parents. Some don't want to involve parents at all. So bounce around to a lot of different programs, watch people, and find your own style, and then find a place to coach and get after it.
For me, I would say don't take yourself too seriously, and remember that these are kids at the end of the day. Most coaches get into the sport because they love the sport. So don't let it kind of, get so intense that you forget the love of the sport in the first place. And just don't forget that these are kids at the end of the day, and it's supposed to be fun. They're supposed to be enriching their lives. So if you're making it miserable for them, then they're not going to want to work for you, and you're not going to get anything accomplished. So make sure that, you're supportive and you're kind, and that you are really putting that fun aspect and keeping that in the forefront of your mind.
You can go, Carrie.
Okay. I totally agree with both of you. Make sure that it's fun. Make sure they're enjoying themselves. Make sure you're sharing your passion of the sport with your athletes. Yeah, you want them to enjoy it, and you want them to come back. And just, yeah, I just agree with both of those. That's good.
I say focus on what you can control. There's so many variables when you get into coaching that can really stress you out. You got to focus on what you can control. And as a coach, to Jess's point, you probably get more credit than you deserve, and you definitely get more blame than you deserve, because it comes down to the kids on your team. So just focus on what you can control, and especially starting out, like, keep everything in perspective. Celebrate the little victories that you get wherever they come, and know that any kind of setback is not forever. And be yourself. You can't be, like Coach Lowe said, you can't be something you're not, because if you're not genuine, the kids will pick up on it in a heartbeat. So you got to be who you are. But really just focus on what you can control, drown out the people that don't matter, and stay true to who you are.
And watch out for seafood at coaches' hospitality rooms.
Absolutely. That's always a bad idea.
Yeah, fried oysters in St. Michael's. Just ask Coach Lowe about it.
Oh my gosh, that was amazing. Thank you so much for all of your inputs. And thank you for taking the time to participate in this culture chat. I hope you all have a wonderful rest of your day, and until next time.